Hey there guys, this is Frack. Welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to show you guys how I roll my maps. I'm going to give you guys some basic tips that most of you should already know, but I'm also going to give some extra ideas for ways you can buff up your maps for cheap. So let's just go ahead and get started. We're going to roll over some Underground Seas Elder. I highly recommend only doing this kind of strategy if you're doing tier 16 Elder maps. If you're doing them on like tier 10s, 11s, it's really bad. You're not going to get even nowhere near as close to back in your investments. So highly recommend not doing this until you're doing your Elder T16s and you're like farming them. So what I have for my setup is I have Moon Temple Eldered at the moment. And then I have Underground Sea just normal. And what we're going to do is we're going to sextant up the Underground Sea and run those as Elder. And then when we run those as Elder, it's going to actually, instead of dropping Underground Seas, it's going to drop Moon Temples. And then once I have a stockpile of Moon Temples, do the same thing. I'll un-Elder this, I'll unshape it or whatever, and I'll Elder Underground Sea. So when I do my Moon Temples, Underground Seas will drop, and you just keep going through that cycle and getting a lot of maps in return for it. So the basic normal stuff we're going to be doing is chiseling, so let's just go ahead and start by that. If you have all your maps in a map tab, what you can do is you can just put 20% with a... Oh, that should work. Wait a minute. That's weird, it's not working. Okay, well, anyway. Usually you could put 20% and it should only highlight the ones that are 20% quality, which are none. There we go, now it works. Okay, that was weird. So now you're gonna just quality up with chisels. Normal, basic things that you'll do when you're crafting your maps. Then we're gonna alch them. You can type rare in. Oops, excuse me. Rare. Typing's hard. There we go. And it'll show which ones are rare. Then what I like to do is I like to take my chaos orbs. Let's go back to the maps. And I'll type in reflect. I'll just make sure to reroll over any of the reflects maps. If you do LE damage and it's reflect fizz, keep it on, you can do that. I unfortunately can't do hexproof, so I have to roll over those as well. Most builds can do hexproof. This one, because I'm temps chaining myself, I can't. So we have that there, and now what I'll do is I'll just go in and I'll just make sure they're over 80% quantity. So this one will reroll 98, make sure we can do it. No reflect, no hexproof, so I'm good. This one's now 91, pretty good. Let's see. 104, reflect fizz damage, I can do reflect fizz, so that's fine. 100's good, and 88 is fine. So now that you've rolled that, you can vol them. I usually don't because I only vol them if I'm looking for the un-ID'd maps sextant, which I'll show you now. So basically, when we're doing Underground Sea, even if we're doing it as Eldered, if we sextant up this Underground Sea here, that will apply to our Elder maps that we do. So we're going to use whites, yellows, and also a red sextant. So we'll just pull all of them out. So this is the really basic information that you should know about doing sextants on your tier 16 Elder maps. But we got some tips coming up here in a second that is going to help you guys out a lot. So we're going to roll over just the bad ones. Poisonous is fine. This is what we were looking for. Strongbox monsters have enraged, and they have 500% quantity. So this is a really good roll. It's on a white sextant. White sextants are really cheap, so you can keep rolling until you find this, or if you find a good one, go to your next white one and roll till you find something decent. Let's see. Additional monsters is fine. Here's a yellow one. Slipstreams is horribles. Additional monsters that heal. Sure, that's fine. And then we're a red sextant for a fourth sextant. Mysterious cluster of mysterious barrels. So that's good. So this map's pretty decent. The main thing is that we have the strongbox sextant. So this is what we're gonna do. Now, normally people have talked about how you can do monstrous treasure and you can do like the gilded ambush scarab and cartography scarab to just have an insanely good map, which you can do. I would recommend doing that if you get your Underground Sea to be eldered, which mine isn't. Mine's way over here. So, but what I'm just doing is this. And the main focus is I want to buff the strong boxes as much as I can because the increased quantity on the strong boxes is a huge amount of map drops when you're running them. So what we're going to do is instead of monstrous treasure and instead of gilded ambush scarab, we're going to run polished ambush scarabs. So this one right here. We're going to run 2 fragments with our map. And then we're also going to run bountiful traps. Now this is a really cool prophecy. It's only like 4 or 5 chaos and it adds 6 strong boxes to your map. Now it's not guaranteed. I have had times where I've run 3 sextant maps and only got 1 of these to proc. I've had times where I've run 3 of them and I got all 3 of my bountiful traps to proc. This along with the gilded polished ambush scarab and your fragments make a huge quantity from your boxes. Usually when I do a map that has this procced with it, I'll get 2 or 3 of my other Elder maps in returns just from the strong boxes, not from other monsters that are hanging around the map. So that's basically like how I roll my maps. It's pretty simple. You guys can try it out with any of your Elder maps. I'd recommend trying to do one that has white sextants you can use because it can easily roll the strong boxes buff. So something like if you're doing like a red map Elder, it'd be pretty difficult. Moon Temple's a little annoying because you have yellow mods, or yellow sextances, but the thing is Moon Temple has a great layout and really good map returns just in general. Yeah, so that's just basically it. That's how I roll my maps, and then I do my Underground Seas, and the strong boxes are insane loot. So basically, oh, another thing I was going to mention. Don't buy Gilded Ambush Scarabs unless you're doing like the Monstrous Treasure thing. Only buy Polished Ambush Scarabs. You could even buy the Rusted ones if you want. Gilded is like 17 chaos and Polished is like 11. So paying an extra 5 or 6 chaos just for one more strong box is not really worth it unless you're trying to do like a big buffed up map with like Cartography Scarab and stuff like that, like with Monstrous Treasure. So yeah, just do the Polished Ambush Scarabs. It's definitely worth it. 4 for 11 chaos, or for 10 chaos, or 5 for 16 chaos. So definitely that's the tip. It's basically that's basically like the little secrets. It's Bountiful Traps instead of Monstrous Treasure, and then downgrade your Scarab because paying 5 more chaos for 1 more box isn't really that worth it unless you have a lot of currency and you don't really care to lose that little bit of extra investment. So that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be streaming me doing all this at twitch.tv/fraggaming if you want to check it out. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys later.